Greetings, hi, TheWarOwl greets you, and welcome to another episode of Strat Talk, the show where we talk about strategies for the game Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or at least go through a round from a professional tournament and see exactly what's happened, and sort of go into some extra analysis that you won't see in some of my casting of those matches. So this one comes from the Ninjas in Pyjamas versus Titan, from the DreamHack Invitational. And as we see, this is actually a very important round of this half. As you see here, Ninjas in Pyjamas took 4 rounds already CT side. Titan has yet to make a dent. So this is going to be the first round they're able to take a point. We're going to let this run with the auto director. See what the auto director thinks is important. Then we're going to go back, go through it, break it down, and figure out exactly what happens. But this is just an example of Titan. It's not really a strategy. It's a very dynamic play. They're able to use the positioning of Ninjas in Pyjamas to their advantage very nicely. As you saw there, pushing downstairs, Freeber's watching them. Now he has to go back upstairs if they decide to go upstairs. Counter-terrorists are forced to watch a whole manner of positions because terrorists have very strategically moved around the map and taken a certain number of positions. So we'll go over how important that is at this point. As we see here, 2 terrorists able to push at ramp and take downstairs. The other remaining terrorists are going to be going downstairs with the bomb and planting from ramp or from the back halls in order to get a good surround on these counter-terrorists. So, has to be a retake here, 3 versus 5, 2 picks already down. Not an easy task here for these counter-terrorists, and they are not going to be able to do it. A nice attempt there by Forrest. Now just Exist left. So how did that happen? How did Titan get those 2 picks and then take the bomb site? Let's find out. Alright, coming off the last round, as we see by the money, Titan is hurting a little bit financially. They only have 2 players in the threshold of sort of a buying place. It's going to be NBK and Shocks. So we see those players forced to buy Galils. And they don't actually have a lot of nades and flashes. They've used their money to buy helmets, and they are also going to take flashbangs, but they have and smokes. So they have 4 smokes. Obviously, smokes are going to be the most important thing for T-side Nuke here. And we'll see how they're going to use them very, very effectively. So at a money disadvantage, as we see, Ninjas in Pyjamas able to buy everything that they want, setting up sort of a standard hold-off. So as we see here at this point, Titan is going to be splitting here outside. 3 players going lobby and 2 going outside. Actually, Existence now rotating back outside to throw his smoke. And actually looks like he is going for picks. There are the smokes now, putting 3 players outside. So mid-round, they actually decided, okay, we're not going to put 3 players inside of lobby. Instead, we're going to put 3 outside. Sort of a standard split on this map. You're going to put 3 inside of lobby and 2 outside. Here, they're just going to be using Smiths throughout the entire game. This is a standard setup by Titan. They have Smiths playing at the ramp pretty much the whole time, and he's contending against Fiflaren, who's been holding it off. So there's just this little fight going on here. Fiflaren throwing defensive smokes, preventing players from pushing at this position. So Smith stays here so that they don't know that anything's up, so that they're just holding that position. You can imagine it like sports, where one player has to play on another player, so that they have to watch them, make sure, see what they're going on there. And that's going to be Fiflaren and Smith playing each other. And then we have NBK playing here inside of lobby. He does very aggressively try to go for some picks here, but his goal is just to make sure they don't push and take Smiths from behind or take position at lobby. A lot of this is position control. So outside, they've thrown those smokes and blocked off the cross completely. They actually have thrown a flashbang as well. And there are no counter-terrorists outside to deal with this. So they are going to be able to get by here. Now, once this happens, once you smoke it off, once you're able to cross, once there's nobody there to really deal with, this opens up a lot of possibilities for Titan. Because now, that smoke that they just threw there, let's see if we can get an aerial view. That smoke that they just threw there allows them to take position outside. It's a scary position for Ninjas in Pyjamas because terrorists can take upstairs as well. They have 2 players lobby. They could take the 3 players outside and do a split A. So 3 coming through mini garage, 2 through lobby. Ninjas in Pyjamas knows this, and they have to continue to watch upstairs. So as you see, they have Exist on the ground, and they have Forrest up top. So they're forced to keep these 2 players upstairs. Always forced to keep Fiflaren here at ramp. That is 3 players who are forced to hold because of that positioning. We also have one player who needs to watch outside. That player was going to be Freebirds here, who moves into the vents. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit and go over what we missed. We missed those 2 players getting picked. So the first pick happens here on Get Right. What happens is terrorists are able to cross, so they rotate Freebirds from upstairs, who is playing outside, to make sure they can't go downstairs. They are not able to get Freebirds back up into heaven because of that. It's a smart move on Titan's part, taking that position. So we actually have Get Right, who's rotated downstairs as well on those stairs. It's a difficult place to deal with. We see him setting up with a pre-flash there, and here is Shox, who does get that peek. Looking for him, scanning the room, jumps up and down and sees him there. Get Right throws the flash because of that. He is scared, comes up and tries to go for the pick, and does get taken down. That was actually a nade he was throwing, and it does hit Shox, but not for very much damage. There's another pre-nade by Freebird. So after taking the first pick here, instead of just pushing downstairs and doing a split downstairs, they pull back, which is so smart because now Ninjas in Pyjamas has to position themselves in case they have to deal with those players downstairs. And that means Fiflaren might have to rotate downstairs. Let's see if Fiflaren does it. Alright, Smiths now putting pressure on Fiflaren. Fiflaren does kind of want to drop, and he does drop. Oh, is still going for the pick on Smiths. And this battle, of course, raging over and over again, and Smiths does finally take him down. So that is just down to the defensive smokes clearing. So what Ninjas in Pyjamas does on this map is throws down a bunch of defensive smokes to prevent the terrorists from pushing at any position. One of those here is ramp. If there's no smoke at ramp, it is a position where terrorists can move in and can grab a pick, because it is a little bit difficult to hold. So Smiths is the player who did get that pick off of Fiflaren. Check out our time. We're at 32 seconds at this point. Ninjas in Pyjamas does not have any more smokes to throw to delay these players. Once the final smoke clears, Smiths is able to push out and take down Fiflaren. But now they have to commit to one strategy, one push, because there's only 30 seconds left. It's difficult. But Nuke is a map they can go either side. Here's Shox with the bomb, still back here at T spawn. Now going to be pushing outside. So because they took outside, they can go anywhere. Poor Ninjas in Pyjamas has to watch out for it. They can go down secret, and they can do an A split. So they can do an A split or a B split. Now that Fiflaren is dead, it's more likely going to be a B split. Ninjas in Pyjamas has to try and prepare for that. They have Freebirds downstairs, but Ninjas in Pyjamas, how they play, and I think Titan is aware of this, they allow the terrorists to take downstairs and to plant that bomb. They don't over-rotate, ever. And they're going to wait and try to grab those players when they try to plant that bomb because of how easy it is to rotate on this map because the bomb sites are right on top of each other. So they're going to keep Forest and Exist up here, A site. So I think Titan, knowing this, decides to go downstairs. It is a smart move. It's playing against the team. So we'll watch and see how long it takes for counter-terrorists to rotate. They're going to wait until that bomb's planted. Even Freebirds comes upstairs, so they have 3 players upstairs. And 16 seconds left. Ninjas in Pyjamas is playing the coin toss part of this. Sort of like a, okay, if they take A, we're going to be able to hold it off. If they take B, we'll try and retake. But Titan, well aware of this, on top of their game, moves downstairs and takes it. So now they have to try and do a retake from the vents. All 3 of them from the vents. Difficult position to be in. And that'll be it for them. Just going to be Exist left. And Shox grabs the final frag. Very nice round by Titan. Thank you folks very much for watching. Hope we learned something about these 2 teams. Alright, thank you folks very much for watching. I am TheWarOwl, and I still have no closer.